Hi, I'm Matt from REAX, and this is The Kit Room. In each episode of The Kit Room, we'll bring one of our brand partners in to share their equipment, how it's best used, how to take care of it, and all the features and benefits so you can get the most from the kit that you use. Then, we will hand the kit to one of our instructors who will test it and play with it here in our centre in Blackpool and give you their honest opinion.
It's so much easier to get on and off.
This is the REAX Kit Room. Welcome to another edition of the REAX Kit Room. When we travel around, we like to meet new manufacturers all the time, and recently at the She Show Manchester, we came across Manosun. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined today in the Kit Room by Steve Patterson, the founder and managing director of Manosun. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you very much. Good morning to Matt.
I'll be whoever you want me to be.
That was such a great start as well.
We should just carry on, I think. And so joining me in the Kit Room today is Steve Patterson, founder and managing director of Manosun. Welcome to the Kit Room, Steve.
Good morning, Matt.
Lovely to see you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the welcome.
Listen, we came across these wonderful gloves a couple of months ago at the She Show. We bumped into each other, had a great chat, and you are our newest supplier at REAX, so we're delighted to have you. But tell us a little bit of the story of how Manosun came into being.
Yeah, Manosun it's a new business. And so we launched the business I launched the business because it was just me by myself in 2020. So people might remember back to 2020, it wasn't a great time. Global lockdowns, It was really, really tough. But I was given this fantastic opportunity to create my own business and promote this brand. So I started off in 2020. And we now have our own offices, our own warehouse, and I employ two other people that help me promote the brand in the UK market. And we're going from strength to strength.
Fantastic. And why gloves? How did you fit on gloves?
Gloves always been my thing. You know, I left the automotive sector. I spent 15 years on the shop floor. I spent 3 years in health and safety where I looked after PPE, and I left all of that behind to pursue a career in hand protection, and that was with at the time the largest glove supplier in the UK. So back in 2006, and ever since then, you know, I dabbled around a little bit in the middle, tried a bit of top to toe PPE, working for one particular company. But no, hand protection is my thing. I'm renowned in the market. I'm well known in the market for being a hand protection specialist, and that's just what I do.
Brilliant. Well, I think the gloves are fantastic, but you were telling me just before we started filming that Manosun very nearly died before it started.
Absolutely,
not
yeah.
in the way you would think, folks. Not in a COVID way. Just quickly tell us the story of how you nearly lost it before it started.
It was crazy times. You know, when I first started off, and it was a very small volume, and we were air freighting product in from the factories in the Far East. And then my very first container that we got into the UK, it was during the time that the Suez Canal was blocked. So getting transport into the UK was really difficult in containers. So we went on the route of rail, and that container left the Far East, travelled through Europe, and then across to the UK to land in Peterborough, where unfortunately the container was hijacked in Peterborough on the side of the A1 whilst on its way to its final destination. And I got a phone call early morning, I think about 5:30, to see how there's been an issue with your container, and the driver has found the back doors have been opened overnight. And it nearly wiped me out straight away.
I would love to have seen the face of the people who were stealing those gloves when they opened up the boxes to realise what they got. But tough for you, but I'm delighted that you got through that, and 3 years later, COVID, hijackings, you're here in business, and now you're a supplier of REAX. We're delighted to have it.
Absolutely.
You developed, the thing that amazed me when we met was I thought a glove was a glove was a glove.
Wow, yeah.
Right, and you soon put me right on that.
Yeah.
So you developed this range. Can you tell me how the range comes about? Is it linked to any standards? We've got a small, and I stress small selection of the range here.
Yeah.
Just talk us through that.
My range is small, but it's very focused on certain sectors. So there are a lot of gloves. It's a saturated market. There's a lot of product out there in the market, and I was well aware of that when I started. But I wanted to bring something slightly different. Impact gloves. So to cover 3 impact gloves here.
Just for those at home that wouldn't know what an impact glove is.
Yeah, so this is just one of the 3, and yeah, you've got one there. So these are traditionally what we class as an offshore product originally, but we're seeing these more and more now within industry. And then we have some of the more industrial, mechanical impact gloves also. There's not a huge amount of these in the market, and what are out there are just other brands that are being promoted rather than their own. So it was a big thing for me. I see that growing more and more. Arc gloves. So one of the arc gloves here, an arc glove is flame retardant, heat resistant, as well as by default it's a cut resistant product as well. So I'm finding most of these gloves are being used in a hot application or in an FR application rather than what they were designed for as an arc product. But I wanted to tick some of these boxes where I can see some of my competitors, and there's small gaps in the market, and I just want to fill those gaps with a quality product. Like you see, we're not huge. There's only 46 styles within my portfolio currently, but I've worked for some other guys where they've had hundreds of different styles.
But 46 is a good size.
Yeah,
range,
yeah.
So we had impact. And we're talking there that you're protected from an impact on top of your hand.
Yeah, a lot of people misunderstand the properties of an impact glove. It can be built onto so many different, what we class as a liner, if you like. So this one, for example, is a cut-resistant liner. It has a grip palm. We have the impact on the back. This one it's thermal. It's waterproof. It has a synthetic palm, which is for the different types of environments of grip resistance.
Yeah, super warm glove.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And but the impact, the TPR on the back of the gloves, a lot of people misunderstand that it could be for protection from crush. And that's definitely not the case. Or pinch points, it may help that in some small amount, but really it's for wearing a product in an unstable environment or in an unknown environment. For you guys here, when you work in confined spaces, dark confined spaces.
Yeah, you're putting your hand
yeah. You're feeling around there. You're not really sure what's in front of you. There could be another hazard in that particular area. But mainly, it is the guys are wearing this glove. They're in an environment, an unstable environment, and they're using hand tools, which could slip, and it's the hands coming in contact with an immovable object. That's where the danger is. And
I was, because I'm one of those people who's naturally adverse to wearing a glove because I feel I'll lose my dexterity.
Yeah.
So one of the things I love about your gloves is that I still feel like I can move and hold things.
Yeah.
Is there something in the technology of that, or the thickness of the covering that helps with that?
It is. I mean, when I first started doing hand protection in 2006. I came from that factory shop floor environment where we wore a very heavyweight knitted glove. And when we first trialed lightweight cut resistant products, you could feel what you were doing. That's the difference. Rather than mummifying your hands in Kevlar and cotton, you're now wearing lightweight cut resistant materials. You can actually feel the product.
And that really is a game changer from issuing somebody in your team with some PPE that ends up in their back pocket because they don't want to wear it.
Exactly.
And someone issuing someone some PPE that they actually want to use. And the glove you're wearing, I noticed that you've applied some extra protection just in this groove, which ideal for rope work and stuff like that. It's going to help with the friction, but you still got the dexterity with your fingers.
Absolutely, yeah. So the reinforcement on the thumb and forefinger is becoming more and more prevalent now in industrial hand protection. And it's really there to protect the glove more than the operative. When the gloves are knitted, they're a seamless liner. So as they're knitted through the knitting machines, there's a small crossover between the thumb and forefinger. And if it wasn't dipped or coated, it would have a small little pinhole between that area. So the dip and the reinforcement helps to protect the liner. But you're dead right. Your guys with their use of ropes and working at heights with the harnesses and everything else, then it is an additional abrasive resistant area.
So we've got the knitted ones, and got a rubberized back here. What would be the application of that?
So this is what we class as the one I've got on it. This is a palm coated product. This is a fully coated product. So it's on a thermal liner. So it's going to keep your hands warm. But the fully coated product that this is to keep your hands dry.
Right.
So you've got that. The only issue is with a fully coated glove, your hands might sweat a little bit more. But the liner is designed to wick away that moisture, keeping your hands nice and dry and fresh.
And then we've got the full leather.
Yeah.
I think this looks a very stylish product, actually. You put some sort of designer label on that and charge a fortune.
Yeah.
and the application for a full leather glove over the knitted?
Very traditional. So a cut and sewn product rather than a seamless product. And this is goat skin leather, Kevlar stitch, Kevlar lined. It's another ARC product, FR product, as well as cut resistance. But this is for more robust applications.
Right.
You might say the old traditional rigger gloves and leather gauntlets and those types of things, where now this, again, it's fluid resistant, oil resistant, cut resistant, in a full range of sizes, so good dexterity, tactility.
Fantastic. The other thing I have is, although I'm a big guy, I've got small hands, which is why I got rejected by Crystal Palace as a kid for being a goalkeeper. My hands were too small. So, but your gloves come in different sizes.
Yeah.
How would I go about sizing the glove?
Yeah, well, in our catalogue here, so my very first novel, the industrial catalogue, what we'll find is here on the back page of the catalogue, we have a hand size guide. So,
fabulous.
I see it's very simple, but it can be a bit misunderstood. So basically what we see here is you can place your hand on there. If you put your thumb and forefinger, put your fingers together, this way it gets a little bit misleading. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to read out on the thickest part of your palm. So actually, Matt, we have here as a size 8 would be the ideal size for your hands.
And that's why I'm not a professional goalkeeper. So size 8, so I really do have small hands for a big guy. So really easy to size. And is that downloadable from your website? It is,
yeah. So that's on the website. It comes as a sacrificial back page in the catalogue. A lot of our customers, because they use vending machines now on the shop floor to dispense PPE, they'll laminate this and stick it on the vending machine, and so guys and girls can measure their hands before they take gloves out, before they use them.
That's fantastic. So it's important to get the right size of glove, so you feel comfortable with that, being able to apply that application. We're going to make sure that we get one of the size charts downloadable from our website as well. So when you order your gloves from us, you'll be able to get the right size first time. Well, that's a little introduction to the gloves, but before Steve came to see us today, we've had the privilege of having some gloves to road test, and we will give it to our team. They've been playing with them for a month, so let's find out what the team thought about the Manosun gloves.
Hiya, Andy again from REAX. Now, one thing that we do talk about a lot on this channel, is we talk a lot about like Cat 3, PPE and PFPE, so harnesses, breathing apparatus, escape sets, confined space stuff, There's different categories of PPE. There's 3 categories, okay? 1, 2 and 3, and obviously we spend a lot of time in that third space because it's logical, it's what we do. But complementary of that, there are these categories, so let's just run you through that now. So category 1 is something that seems fairly straightforward, simple as like a glove. Category 2 would be something like glasses, goggles, and then like we said, Cat 3, harnesses, breathing apparatus, anywhere there's a chance of mortal risk. One thing that gets forgotten though, is category 1 is as important as category 3, right? Because if you severely injure your hand in a confined space, for example, getting out's difficult, right? So we've had lots of different suppliers, handles lots of different things. We've currently been field testing the Manosun Gloves, I think I'm saying that right. Within that, a couple of things. They're really abrasion resistant, right? They're a tough thing, we've been handling ropes with them, dragging sets about. I've just been loading a van for a job that's happening next week, handling sets again, great stuff. But one thing I really can't sort of emphasize enough is comfort, right? These things are comfy, nice and stretchy, They feel like a second skin, which is always a good sign with a glove. So just sort of give you an overview of things I personally look for in a glove, It doesn't matter if I'm really working in a confined space or in the workout world. One of the most important things I look for, is dexterity. If I've not got dexterity, and again, that sort of second skin feel, that's problematic. And what I mean by that is things like opening carabiners, right? It should be that easy. If I've got to start feeling my way through the glove to actually get to the gate, it's massively problematic. But again, with these things, they're great, right? Again, that second skin feel about it. One of the other gloves that we've been field testing is this bad boy. Yeah, now this is massively impact resistant. Where we found that useful, particularly on high risk confined space courses, things like that, where you're being shoved down pipes, it's a lot going on. Yeah, bang in the back of your hands, super common. The impact resistance of these things has been absolutely great, to be fair. As a general review of the Manosun products, I think the build quality is good. I think the price point's right, but more importantly from my perspective, being a work at height confined space guy, the reality is we've got dexterity and that comfort. The thing is with PPE, people will wear it if it is comfortable and easy. If it's not both those things, no good. So again, from me, just to sort of recap on that, we've got the dexterity, we've got the abrasion resistance, yeah, and on top of that, the price point's fair and they're comfortable. Give people the right kit, beautiful. Personally, I really rate them. So yeah, they're getting a thumbs up from me.
So that's what the team thought of the Manosun gloves, and a really positive reaction there. You can find the gloves are available on our website at www.reaxlimited.com. Steve, while the team were reviewing the gloves there, I was looking at these gloves in a little bit more detail,
yeah.
and I can see lots of fancy numbers all over it. And everybody who watches the kit room knows that I am not technically minded at all. Apologies to our cameraman, I just bashed our mic then. But so I've got things like EN388, 2X31C. It feels like a Mensa test to me. Can you explain some of that?
It is, yeah. There's lots of this particular glove, because it's so dynamic in the different environments that it works into. There's a lot of information on there, and that's in reference to its thermal properties, its fluid resistant properties, as well as its mechanical testing. So what we have, the main characteristics, the main standard is EN388 for mechanical testing of industrial harm protection, and this tests for abrasion resistance, cut, tear, and puncture resistance. We still get a lot of issues or a lot of misunderstandings, even at the end user, because the standards changed. It started to change in 2016. They came into force in 2018, and that was mainly for cut resistance. I mentioned how back in the days on the shop floor in automotive, wearing big, heavy, thick gloves to give us the cut protection we needed. Then when we moved to thin, lightweight products, it's the yarn and the technology behind the yarn which has allowed much higher levels of protection from a much, much thinner glove. So now when we talk about high cut resistant gloves, they're not huge, big, bulky products. They're actually very lightweight, very thin, high dexterity for tactile tasks. So now what we have, we went away from the old cut level 1 to 5, cut level 1 being the smallest or the least cut resistance, to cut level 5, which we used to class as the maximum cut resistance. Now it's a little bit more difficult. Few grey areas. We moved over to cut level A, which is still the minimal cut resistance, which would be a general handling glove, to cut level F. So that is now our highest cut resistance. And the concern is at the end user, it's like, oh, well, we used to use a cut level 5. Do we now have to have a cut level F, or is a cut level 5 the same as a cut level F? And there's no correlation between any of them. Yeah. I know I could talk. You'd fall asleep and talk about gloves all day, but that's just my thing. But yeah, the levels of cut resistance have changed so much. The technology in the yarns is so enhanced now. But here at Manosun, we don't like to do things simple, so we like to throw something else in the mix. And we also test our gloves to the North American standard, which is ANSI. And the reason for this is does
that mean it's angry?
ANSI, angry, yeah, I guess.
Where I come from, if someone's ANSI, no, I'm guessing that means something else in North America.
It is. It's exactly. It's the North American standard, and for cut resistance, as well as the puncture and the grip and everything else as well. But we focus on levels of cut protection because their ANSI level 9 on their scale is far greater than. And what we use this now to quantify to a customer that if they're using a cut level F glove, this is one of my cut level F gloves, as well as being impact, and they're still experiencing cuts through the gloves or nicks on their hands, which is not acceptable, then we can promote that higher level by using the ANSI scale as well to give them something a bit more advanced.
Brilliant. Well, we were so impressed. We like to find people to work with that have a similar ethos to us, have the same standards, and one of our things we love to do at REAX is to innovate. And your innovation in this range, and that's an example of it there, using those North American standards, but also you bespoke gloves for people should they require it as well. Can you talk us through?
Yes,
how
certainly.
work?
It's I'm a great believer. A product development role was my last role of employment, and that was for Europe with a North American company. Now, for me, not every solution is on the shelf, and so we have to survey a particular task at the end user, and we have to look at the requirements that they have, because, as we said, there's a multitude of gloves to choose from, and so many different brands out there in the market. But still, we are developing products and making bespoke products for the end user. So we have our product here. I'm just reaching across to so this one in particular looks a bit of a Frankenstein. I'll just change the glove that I have on, and we had an application. This was in an assembly shop in the automotive sector, and they were using 3 different gloves to carry out a multitude of tasks during the working day.
So you have them to swap.
Yeah, and that's a problem because we call that a toolbox. So the guys will have a toolbox of gloves, and if they've got 3 or 4 different styles, which can be a nightmare, you'll always find, and no disrespect to anybody, if you're wearing gloves, you want something which is comfortable, something which is durable, and if you give somebody 3 or 4 styles of gloves, they'll always revert back to the glove which gives them the most comfort and that they feel relaxed and safe in, but it's not always the case. So we eliminated the multiple selection of gloves, and we took an arc glove, which is inherently an FR glove. In this environment, there was sparks and spatter, there was contact heat up to 150 degrees, but they were also handling raggy, raw steel metal components for the automotive sector. So we created this glove. We have still fingertip dexterity. You can see the leather palm only goes up to the first knuckle, so they can pick up small bolts and fixings, and also control touch pads and so on. The leather is there really to give exceptional grip. Leather is split leather is one of the best palm coatings. That it absorbs everything that you hold onto.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it'll give you a fantastic grip level until the point of saturation, and it does start to give way and tear. But really, that's there as a sacrificial barrier, and it protects the glove also from the raggy burr edges that we find on these chassis components. So we have contact heat protection, we have cut resistance, we have spark and spatter, we have dexterity in a glove in multiple sizes to offer the operator all the level of protection that they need.
Fantastic. So if you are not sure what type of glove, you can contact us at REAX on our website, reaxltd.com. And if you think you might need a bespoke glove, talk to us and we'll put you in touch with Steve, and we'll work together to find the right glove for your solution. And Steve, you're so good at innovation. I'm going to try not to break it here. Because it's such a precious thing. You've actually got an award for it, so
the very same gloves. So best practice publications. So last year, these guys do a lot of marketing support for us, and in their online, digital, as well as hard copy catalogues. And we were awarded the Innovation Award for that task. And they were so overjoyed, like to see how we're reducing the usage at the end user.
Fantastic. Well done. And much deserved there, much deserved. The other innovative thing that really I like, because for those of you that don't know REAX, we have a very consultative approach to giving you a solution for not only PPE, but for training and for rescue planning as well. We like to work with the customer in that. And you do a similar thing in gloves, where you will consult and give a survey. Do you want to just talk us through about how that works, like a glove survey? What's it like?
Absolutely. So it's something I've always done. I mentioned the automotive sector. the health and safety role that I took part in within that organisation, and my role looking after managing the PPE there at the time, we had to carry out those risk assessments. But those risk assessments can sometimes be a little bit highbrow for the shop floor level that we have to break down and create toolbox talks and so on. So even then, back in around about 2007, I started to create the hand surveys with several companies that I've worked with, and now so it wouldn't be any different with the Manosun business, my own business. We've created our survey. So the Manosun Gloves survey is what we have. It mimics the industrial catalogue. Now, a lot of manufacturers of products carry out the survey, and but what we do at Manosun, what I do is as well as here in the catalogue, and we have the standards. We have information in regards to the regulations. So we had on there EN 388 that we spoke about, abrasion, cut, tear, puncture. We've got chemical resistance information. We've also got information in there in regards to contact heat, as well as cold and waterproof. And then different palm coatings, different environments that they work very, very well in. As I mentioned, leather, PVC, whether it be sandy foam, nitrile, PU, and so on. But then we get to the real crux of the survey, where the bespoke information starts, why we're on site doing the survey, and then individual areas that we do, highlighting a report of the summary of the task, and then the different environments that they're working in, and the types of gloves, what they use. Now, what we do, that probably nobody else will, it's a bit more independent, because my range isn't as huge as some of my competitors. And my distributors and my supply partners, they need to be able to offer a full basket of products to their customers. So I have the competent level to promote the products that are available in the market. So I will put forward even my competitor's product, because it has to be the right glove for the job. I'm never going to pick up a product and say, yeah, man, I'm sure this should do the job. Yeah. You know, it should be okay. It has to be right. You're putting people's hands in danger. So I will always put forward the right product for the right job, whether it be mine or whether it be somebody else's.
That's fantastic. And that's why we want to work with people like Steve and Manosun, because we really passionately believe at REAX, as you know, if you're a customer of ours, that we sell to your need and not to what we want you to take from us. So if that's fabulous that you share that ethos. And if you think it would be handy to get one of these done, we can arrange that with Steve as well. So you know, if you're a HR manager, health and safety manager, and you're not sure what the application of the glove is, we can put you in contact with Steve and we can arrange a report as well. Well, Steve, it's been brilliant to have you in there. We're going to start referring to you as Steve Handy Andy Patterson from now on. But Steve, it's great. We wish Manosun all the best. We're really excited about this partnership. If you liked this episode of The Kit Room, please click the necessary button below. You can find all of Manosun's products on our website at www.reaxltd.com. And I'll see you soon on another edition of The Kit Room.